Hey artists, today we're going to make our own prints. We're going to use a styrofoam plate and then create our own different color prints. So follow along with me and I'll show you all the steps. Okay, to get started we have a piece of tracing paper. It's nice and thin. And we have our styrofoam board that we're going to be using for printing. So on here, you're going to draw whatever you want. It could be a landscape. It could just be shapes and designs. It could be an animal. It could be just something you like, maybe a shoe or anything, a still life, apples. It's kind of whatever you would like to draw. So real quick, I'm going to show you, we could do just an abstract, or I think I'm going to do an animal. So I'm going to really quickly sketch an elephant. Okay, now that I'm satisfied with my elephant, I'm going to pick it up and put it on top of the foam board. Now you're going to take it, whoop, I drew it a little big, but that's okay. You're going to take this and you're going to use your pen and you're going to push pretty hard into that paper. Now, if you don't want it to slip around, we'll put a little piece of tape to hold it still. But you are just going to trace all along the lines with the pen. And what's happening is as you push, it's pushing down onto the foam. When you remove the paper, you can see the lines just barely. You can see them there. So we need to go over them again with the pen so we can see them more clearly, and to just really be pushing deep into the paper plate or the foam plate. We want to make sure that we don't push so hard that we're gouging holes into it, but we are pushing enough that it makes a nice indentation. Once you've gone over by tracing, you could add some little details to your print if you would like. And so one thing I like to do is I could put like some design down here. The more lines we put in, the cooler it looks when we put the paint over the top and print it. So I could just add some design here. Maybe a little bit of grass down here. just whatever kind of extra line design you can add. You could, maybe I could have other little heart bubbles coming from here across my plate. And when you feel satisfied, we're ready to do our printing. Okay, once you have your printing block, here's what I made with just a bunch of kind of wild shapes. This is a very simple one. This one was a little more complicated. I had to erase a lot before I got the right elephant, but I did all the erasing on the paper that I transferred it with. And then this is a nice smooth plate, and you can see where I pushed nice and hard with my pen. So both of these will make great prints, just a different kind of design. The next thing we're going to do is get some block printing ink, and I'll have stations out for us to use those. You put the ink out. We're going to roll it here, and we want to make sure that we don't have, like you can see I haven't fully covered that. We don't want it to be too chunky. So it's really about getting the right consistency of paint that we roll on here. And I'll put some paper underneath me so I don't get it all over the place. And then you're going to take your plate and you're going to carefully roll the paint over the top. Make sure you get all over. All right, and then once you have your printing block covered in paint, you'll set this to the side. You're going to get your paper, whatever color you choose. Carefully set it over the top. And then we're gonna rub all over. You wanna make sure, open hand, smooth rubbing, make sure that you're getting all the corners and everything. All right, and once you have really, because if you don't get every piece, then it's not going to transfer onto your paper. So once you're like, okay, I've really got this down, then you're going to gently lift this up. Oh, love it. There's our elephant. So cool. And let's see what the other one ends up looking like. This one was more abstract. Will it still look as cool? So we're going to roll that paint out. Make sure our roller is nicely covered. Put the paint onto our styrofoam. And it looks like I'm going to need some more paint on there because I have some empty spaces. All right, that's looking a lot better. And then you get the color of your choice. I really like this peach with the blue. Carefully set this on top. And again, make sure that you're transferring all the paint with a nice rub down here. And once you are pretty sure that you have carefully rubbed the paper all over to make sure the ink has gotten onto your page, you will carefully peel it off. Oh, cool. That looks really neat. So you'll be able to choose what color ink you would like, what color paper you would like, and you'll be able to do multiple prints. So I'll be able to put a different color of paint on here, and I can turn around and use a different color of paper, and I can have many pictures of my elephant, different colors and different styles. I cannot wait to see the styrofoam prints that you create.